Hey everybody, my name is Tim Coates and I am the owner and operator here at Adonis Paint Protection. And I wanted to give you guys a quick glimpse of the first Model Y to hit the streets here in San Diego and compare it to our shop Model 3, which I've personally owned for about a year and a half now. So I have quite a bit of experience working on these Teslas, especially these Model 3s. And even though the Model Y is very similar in a lot of ways, there are some details I'd love to point out. So let's take a look. This is a blue metallic Model Y dual motor performance. 21-inch Uber turbine wheels with a Performance Plus package, which means you get the big brakes, you get the rear spoiler, you get all the performance upgrades that you can possibly get. And I gotta tell you guys, in person, this car looks fantastic. I mean, I cannot stop staring at it. Tesla really hit this one out of the park, guys. Between the looks of the car, the subtle details such as the wheels, which we've all wanted these wheels since the Model 3 release, when they had it on one of these show cars, the subtleties of the blackout, which comes completely standard, which means you don't have to worry about doing an aftermarket chrome delete. The window tint in the back from the factory is a really nice touch. Even though we do recommend window tinting underneath it to add some more heat rejection, it does make it look really good from the factory. The rear tailgate looks fantastic. It kind of gives you a like Audi Avant or wagon type look. It looks less like an SUV and more like a wagon. And the ride height itself is actually pretty darn aggressive for being an SUV. You know, my Model 3, before I even lowered it, was about that same height. The coolest thing about this, power lift gate, but look at that cargo space. I mean, the cargo space is probably as big as the Model X, I'd say, in dimensions and width. Plus you get a lot more space. I mean, these are two full-size bags down here for stuff in the back, and there's space underneath this. Seats completely recline, they lay completely flat. You can literally put probably 2x4s, several bags of mulch if you'd ever do that, if you're into gardening. I don't know what else you'd put back here, a couple dead bodies. But it's really really cool. Power lift gate, which is a cool feature. The fit and finish, it's good. It's not perfect. I do notice a couple things around the car in terms of the fit and finish and the paint quality. Obviously this car has not been washed. It's pre-air process on it. But overall, it's good. It's better than the first Model 3s we've seen. Really love that blackout. I mean, the door handle is completely wrapped around and really adds a nice touch to it. Inside, I'd say it's basically Model 3 inside, aside from the seating position. And aside from the all-glass roof you get, which really does make it look very spacious. Let me turn off the air conditioning here. So the HVAC and everything is actually sounds a little bit different than the Model 3. It does definitely have a little different sound to it. The seating position, you are higher up from the road, but you are sitting actually lower than you are in the Model 3. The Model 3, it feels like you're sitting actually a little bit higher in the car, but of course, because this is an SUV, you are actually sitting higher up on the road itself, if that makes sense for you guys. Touchscreen is completely the same. Center console is completely the same. This actually comes optioned with a wireless charger, which is cool. Glove box, same size glove box. Nothing new there. I'd say almost the dash is completely the same. Steering wheel also feels the same, like the same materials. Door cards are larger. The door actually does seem bigger. The door itself does not come up as high on your sides as the Model 3 does. Like I said, this is it's definitely a different seating position. I say that's the biggest difference with this car, is you are sitting higher off the ground. You do have a higher outlook, but you are sitting lower down on the dash, and the doors themselves are actually lower than the Model 3. The Model 3 feels like you're sitting more below the car, and you are lower to the ground. Visibility is good. You do have a little bit of a blind spot out to the C-pillar area on both sides, and the rear window is a little bit small to see out of. Let's see if I can get you in the rear view right there. So you can see it is pretty small looking out of it compared to the 3. You have a lot more glass. But this, you have the all glass roof, which really does give you that panoramic look, which is nice. You do have a good amount of heat coming through. I would recommend also tinting that. Obviously tinting the windshield and the side windows with a good film like PhotoSync, Spectra PhotoSync, which blocks a ton of the heat. But you don't have to. I mean, it's all up to your personal choice. Since the back windows already are tinted, that does help a lot. I would recommend tinting the front. So the front is really a lot different than the 3 too. It almost looks like a Model 3 bumper that they kind of squished in and raised a bit. It's definitely less aggressive looking than the 3 is. The 3 has a much more aggressive front vent area, and the side profile here, I can show you guys what I mean, much more subtle than the Model 3 itself. You can see how this has a lot more wraparound to it than the Y does. But overall, the looks are very, very nice. You do have the Model X styling with the side fenders here in plastic versus being all painted. Same with the lower rocker panels are plastic instead of being painted like the Model 3 and the Model S. Man, this color and this blackout package and these wheels, I mean, it looks fantastic. It's really hard to explain without seeing one in person. Like I said, they really did a nice job on the styling of this car. It looks fantastic. You do have some, polish residue and wax residue from the dealer prep. No big deal. This stuff can get easily be cleaned up. This one we're actually getting prepped for a full body clear bra and ceramic coating, which will protect this car for many, many years to come. So now on the Model 3, this is what the car we've kind of all known for the past several years. This is the car that really started the trend. As you can see, mine is a little customized. I have a lowering suspension on it. I have the Mountain Pass Performance coilovers. I have a satin black vinyl blackout of all the chrome. I did some aftermarket mirror covers to give it that carbon fiber look, and it has a full body satin paint protection film wrap on it, along with powder coated wheels and painted calipers. So this is definitely not stock, but it is a good comparison side by side to give you an idea of what the two look like. Like I said, the dimensions are very different. The height of this car compared to the Y is a pretty big jump. I'd say it's almost about a good, the Y comes up to about the top of my head, whereas the 3 is about up to my shoulders. A good amount of height difference. The length is very similar, the width is very similar, but the height of the car itself is quite different. Approaching the car from the inside, like I said, the biggest difference is that you do sit down in the 3. It's much lower. The door card itself comes up much higher on your side. The Y does. The Y, you're sitting a lot higher in the actual car seat itself. You're higher off the ground, but the dash is weird. You actually feel like you're sitting lower in the dash on the Y than the 3. So the seating position is quite different. Once again, out the back, you have a lot more visibility on the 3 than you do with the Y, and that's to be expected with the all-glass roof. But once again, you do have just one glass roof here with the cross member, so it's not the all-glass roof like on the Y. Visibility, obviously, with the 3 is great. Out pretty much all the windows. Nav screen is the same as well. Steering wheel does appear to be the same. I did get the white interior, so this is the white interior versus the black. That's really the only difference I see. Fit and finish is very similar in terms of all the touch surfaces. There really doesn't seem to be any differences there. One thing I did notice on the 3 versus the Y is that on my 3, this is silver. And on the Model Y here, it is black. So there is touches like this and subtleties throughout the car that are very unique. And maybe this will give you guys a better perspective of the seating position. I mean, it's definitely different in the Y than in the 3 here. So the doors themselves, like I said, you could see the difference in the size of the doors. Much, much higher. But you are sitting lower on the door card just because of the way the seats are situated. Ground clearance, honestly, for being an SUV, it is actually fairly low to the ground compared to the 3. Mine is also lowered about an inch, so do take that into account. All black interior. Carpets seem like the same material. Pretty much everything on the inside seems to be about the same, except for the seats themselves. To the touch, in terms of the cushion, they do feel a lot softer than the black seats I've seen in the Model 3. I've always thought the white seats were naturally a little bit softer, so I'd say the black now is about equal with that. You do have this wood, which is a love or hate it kind of thing. It's all preference. I prefer the white interior. Black does look good too. Back seats, leg room. You do have more leg room. The front seat here is all the way back. As you can see, you still have a good amount of leg room. The back seat on this side is forward to where I was driving, and you do have a lot more leg room. Headroom is a lot better too than the 3, just because of the elevated roof, and you actually do get more space with the glass roof without that cross member in the middle than on the 3. So definitely a big difference there. So anyways, guys, I know I kind of rambled for a bit, and if there's any other details you would like to see on the cars, I would love to show them to you. So please comment below if there is, and I'll keep you updated as we do finish the process on this. I'll take you through the whole process we do in terms of the clear bra, ceramic coating, and window tint to show you how this car turns out. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Once again, this is a Tesla Model Y, one of the first to be delivered, and a mid-2018 Tesla Model 3. Thanks for watching.